Ebenezer wa rèé o níbi tẹ́ràn wá lọ́wọ́ dé. Ká máa jó káyọ̀ ká fògo fólú. Hi everyone, my name is Kent Edunjobi. I'm a musician. First, I'll start with my background. I attended, of course, primary, secondary, school, and then I went to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. So I studied computer science, statistics. Yeah, but eventually now I'm doing music. I'm a Christian, married, with a lovely wife, 2 kids. Pretty much that's all about me. Music is everything to me. I used to tell people I love music more than food. I know that's funny, but that's actually the truth. Music is inborn. I was born into a family of music lovers, right from my dad, my mom, my siblings. We were all lovers of music, but unfortunately none of them practiced music professionally, but yeah, in the church. I mean, from my background you could tell that from studying computer science, statistics, and then now I am practicing or I'm doing music. It got to a point in my life I had to choose what to do with my life, and I realized, fulfillment is all for me, and in music I find that fulfillment, and that's why today I'm a musician. So for Ebenezer, how did Ebenezer come about? So I'm a member of Apex Choir. That's my choir, and I also happen to be the leader of the choir. So annually, we usually have our annual Thanksgiving service, like we call it our Harvest Day. And on those special occasions like that, we usually have a special number that the choir composes, write the song, and we perform that day on that day. So this particular edition, that was last year, it was time for us to write a special number as we usually do. And people kept on asking me, so have you written the song? Have you written a song for us? How far with our special numbers? I mean, we not just special number alone, we write a lot of songs, but the special number, we give it a lot of attention. So for some reason, nothing was coming to my head. And for me, songwriting, I don't like to force it. For me, it's a process. I like to receive, I like to be in spirit and receive it. So I remember a friend of mine in the UK kept on asking me, Alpha, were you able to write anything? I kept on telling the person, I said, no. So at some point I said, okay, you know what, probably we're going to pick a song from probably our past album, and we'll just render it. I mean, people really love the song, so there's no point stressing. So, but then one day I was just praying at home and I said, God, please just give me a song, at least just give me something to write. And the only thing I heard was Ebenezer. And I was like, okay, Ebenezer, what does Ebenezer mean? Okay, Ebenezer means, okay, thus far you've helped us. Okay, fine. And I realized that, okay, personally in my life, God has helped me in so many ways, and also in the choir as well. I mean, where we started from, when I started handling the choir, I got at the Elms of Affairs in the choir 2020, and how the choir has progressed. So I said, okay, I think Ebenezer is a perfect way to express gratitude to God. And I started writing. I didn't even start writing at first. I just kept that word, Ebenezer. So I was scrolling on my phone. On IG one day, and I saw, I mentioned this to him. So, and I saw a post from Toluchi and one of his songs, Morianu Bao. So that tune I think it ignited something in me. And the melody for Ebenezer came. So immediately I just rushed. I think I was even working that day in my studio. So I stopped what I was doing and I was on my piano and I started playing with first the melody and then the lyrics started coming. So I wrote the song in 2 parts. So I wrote the first part and I left it. So I went to church, rehearsal, I taught them the first part. Then the second part, I taught them. And that day, we performed the song. For the soundtracks that I've done for movies, I think I've worked on Esin for Femi Adebayo. I produced Neyola. I co-wrote and produced Neyola for King of Boys Part 2. I did, of course, a couple of movies for Mr. Kunle Afolayan. So let me talk about the films for Mr. Kunle Afolayan: Citation, Swallow, and Anikulapo. So for Citation happened during COVID. So for me, the COVID period was a blessing period for me. Because when everybody was complaining that, oh, they could not go to work, they could not do this, they could not do that. We had just finished shooting Citation. Went to Ife to shoot, then Senegal, then Cape Verde. So coming back for post, that was when the lockdown started. So I was just locked in my studio with my family, and so I had a lot of time to experiment. I had a lot of time to write. There was no distraction, no going out, no traffic. It was just me waking up in the morning, eat, sleep, think about Citation. And the funniest thing was that in the Citation album, we're supposed to have a couple of other African artists, especially from Senegal and Cape Verde. But because of the lockdown, we couldn't pull that off. So in my head, I was just like, okay, what am I going to do? This thing has to go. So I said, okay, let me write all the songs. Then after writing the songs, then I went to Google Translation and I started translating some of the songs I've forgotten this their language now. The major language they speak in Senegal. I started translating, then also started translating to Spanish, and I started listening to the words, started listening to Spanish and African sounds and all that. It was quite an interesting experience for me. And then for Swallow, I got to work with Neyola on that album. She's a delight to work with. Extremely talented being. And of course, she has ears for good sounds as well. So that was another experience. It was a period film. So we were working more with period sounds, not just current day sounds like you have the Afrobeat sound. It was more of the Ike Dairos, the Victor Waifo sound. And so we tried to do that. Therefore, for Anikulapo, quite interesting. The big one, I was on set, far away Komu, Igbojaye. And it was, those ancient periods. So we did a lot of traditional drums. Then I came back and did a lot of research, the Yoruba research, because the languages that were, the kind of Yoruba they had then wasn't the funkified Yoruba we have now. So, it was a swell experience for me. I enjoyed every bit of it as well. for the impact and challenges I've had in music. I would like to start with the challenges first. Okay, so for the challenges, one of the major issues I had was, starting, there was no sponsor. You had to fund with your money. And even when you fund with your money, you had earned money, the acceptance. I mean, this sound, my own sound, is one sound that I believe so much. But when I was starting then, I had a lot of people who were telling me and were discouraging me that this sound is not good. This sound is not going to be accepted. So I had to deal with that. I had to deal with a lot of rejection. It's quite funny that a lot of people who rejected me then are now accepting me and saying, oh, this sound is good. So, but I mean, if I had given up then, I don't know what would have happened. So that was one of the challenges I had. And in terms of impact, I mean, music has helped me. I tell people, when I was doing 9-to-5 jobs, some of the things I've achieved now, I could not achieve them when I was doing 9-to-5 job. And above all, fulfillment. I have found fulfillment in music. I mean, it's not about the money, it's not about the material things, but first thing in life for any human being, especially if you're a creative, is fulfillment. So even if you are commissioned to do a job, as a true creative, the first thing that gives you joy is when your employer or when the person who is commissioning you hears the job and the person says, I am in love with what you've done. Even if you have not been paid, you are satisfied, you're fulfilled that yes, you're still on the right track. Okay, so for collaborations in terms of production and working with music producers and artists, few people I would like to work with in the industry. I mean, I like to work with Asha. I would like to work with Cobams. I would like to work with Yusun Dio. I would like to work with Ashake. Funny, I like the guy's sound. I like his sound so much. I like to work with him. I like to work with Shalali Singh. I like to work with a couple of good musicians as well. And for me, in terms of what I'll be bringing, or what is next for me, currently I'm working on releasing an EP. As a matter of fact, the EP was supposed to drop this May, but this Ebenezer thing has to, now it's Ebenezer is everywhere, and we have to put the EP on hold and let's exhaust this first. And then we'll plan a concert and we'll release the EP. So I want you all to stay tuned and keep your fingers crossed. I'm sure you're going to love what we're going to be bringing to you. To my fans, to my loved ones, first I want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the support I have enjoyed so far. I mean, it's been overwhelming. Let me use that popular slang. I never expected it. The love has been awesome, amazing. Right now, it's even hard to concentrate on music because every now and then my phone is just buzzing from social media to calls to messages. And I do not take all these things for granted. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful and I appreciate them. Please keep supporting the brand Kent Edunjobi. Follow me on all social media platforms at Kent_Edunjobi and on my YouTube page, Kent Edunjobi. I have amazing content, in my space, and I think you all will love them. Okay, so before I leave, let me just give you the popular song, Ebenezer. Ebenezer wa re oni bi teran wa lowo de. Ká máa jó káyọ̀ ká fògo fólú. Ebenezer wa re oni bi teran wa lowo de. Ká máa jó káyọ̀ ká fògo fólú. Ebenezer wa re ẹ má má ṣe. Thank you very much. I remain Kent Edunjobi, and keep watching 10 Urban TV.